domestic terrorism from white supremacists is the most lethal terrorist threat in the homeland.
Why is the radical right growing? Why are these ideas resurging in such a dramatic way?
We've been unwilling to really grapple with our history. We have to understand where this problem has been in the past and what's kept us from addressing it.
The time has come.
When Obama appeared on the scene, there was a massive freakout on the radical right.
Domestic extremism touches on the nerves of the polarization in our country. It is used to score political points.
Donald Trump is only a reaction to Obama. Let's understand, Donald Trump is the anti-Obama, and we have to understand too, every action there's a reaction. It's called cause and effect, right? There's an opposite to everything. While we was rejoicing, feeling that we have arrived and have overcome at the inauguration of Obama becoming presidency, white people felt defeated and angered and hatred.
At this defining moment, change has come to America.
I never dreamed that I would see a person of color as the president of our nation. I never dreamed it.
To put their hands on the arc of history
I was up following the results.
and bend it once more toward the hope of a better day.
I got up and I looked out the window, and the church was ablaze.
My phone rang, and the words I heard was, they are burning our church to the ground. And what was left was rubble, charred ruins, and, well, who did this?
3 men set a massive fire that destroyed the Macedonia Church of God in Christ.
Prosecutors say it was a racially motivated crime, an expression of anger that an African American was elected president.
It's devastating.
Black people have to understand that Obama being elected president brought Europeans to a height of insecurity that hasn't been seen since the ending of the Civil War. And Europeans, when feeling insecure, strike out through violence. This has always been the pattern of Europeans. Whenever they've seen black people make any progress, they have responded with physical violence.
And to have them to declare we did it because it was Barack Obama was elected president,
Protect and defend.
just reinforced for me the hold that racism and hatred has on this country.
In the years before Barack Obama's election, many groups on the extreme right had kept a low profile, but that was about to change.
People on the extreme right understood that the percentage of white people in America was dropping every year. So when Obama appeared on the scene, there was a massive freakout on the radical right.
On election night, the largest white supremacist web forum shut down. The server crashed because they were getting so much traffic.
Hate crime.
To every action, there's a reaction. To every feeling, there's an opposite. Obama being inaugurated as president, Europeans seeing them losing their dominance over America and sought to regain their dominance as a reaction to that action. And everything they have done since have been nothing but about applying white dominance. For black people to ignore this or to overlook these actions is very naive and ignorant, or is cowardice. I have an issue with any black man who do not understand the perilous situation we as black people are in with Trump pushing to take away democracy completely.
Crimes are on the rise. Burning crosses and black effigies hanging from nooses have been found.
50 new militia training groups have sprung up in less than 2 years. Recent attacks carried out by lone wolf actors motivated by radical ideology.
We started seeing white supremacist groups holding rallies, and in these rallies, the number of participants continued to grow.
Daryl Johnson was part of a small...
This hatred that was spewing throughout the country while Obama was president, Trump took hold of that hatred and that anger that white people felt towards a black president. He harnessed that anger to build his support. This is why his support comes without any logic.
And the State Department, U.S. State Department recognizes these as legitimately...
It's not a birth certificate, Candy, and people are trying to figure out why isn't he giving his birth certificate. It's not a birth certificate. A certificate of live birth, and you can see that one that you have and the one that I...
What other president had to produce their birth certificate? No other president but Obama. It's basically the significance of having to show your freedom papers. That was what Trump was basically requesting of Obama, is to show his freedom papers. And this was the launch of his campaign. He also launched his campaign about building a wall, calling Mexicans rapists. You have to acknowledge that Donald Trump is empowered by racists. So it's clear to see Donald Trump empowered himself with white supremacy. He used birtherism and claiming Obama presidency was illegitimacy to gain the support of those malicious, outraged white people. This is what propelled Donald Trump to the White House. Let's stop being ignorant of what his power base is. So if you're a black person and you're willing to empower those groups of people for a tax cut, then I have no respect for you and you are an enemy to me.
Fix this during their 8-year period.
I've instructed Attorney General Holder to work with cities across the country to help build better relations between communities and law enforcement.
Never even tried to fix this.
That means working with law enforcement officials to make sure their ranks are representative of the communities they serve.
They had no idea how to do it.
It means working to train officials so that law enforcement conducts itself in a way that is fair to everybody.
Never even tried to fix this.
Now, we've launched a police data initiative that's helping Camden and other innovative cities use data to strengthen their work and hold themselves accountable by sharing it with the public.
They had no idea how to do it.
I'm going to be proposing some new community policing initiatives, including up to 50,000 additional body-worn cameras for law enforcement agencies.
President Obama and Vice President Biden never even tried to fix this.
Today, we're also releasing new policies on the military-style equipment that the federal government has in the past provided to state and local law enforcement agencies. We're going to prohibit some equipment made for the battlefield that is not appropriate for local police departments.
The Trump entire campaign was being the anti-Obama. You have to understand the way the numbers of militias rose due to Obama being the president. I didn't make this up. This is just a fact of life. Everything about Trump is about being the anti-Obama. We can say what Obama didn't do for the black community, but we cannot take away the things that he did do. And as you can see, those are a list of things that are very imperative that he did do in our community.
And obvious fact check there. President Trump's claim about his predecessor's efforts to reform policing. In fact, the Trump administration has spent much of its time unraveling those Obama administration police reforms.
The over-militarization of the police in our community is a big issue. Him limiting the amount of military weapons that was sent to the police departments that did benefit black communities. He had him placing more body cameras on police officers that allowed our voice to be heard that much more when being treated unjustly. Trump is anti all those things and opposed to all those things. He continuously show black people that he is opposed to your humanity. So for you to embrace and accept this man shows your ignorance. And it's insulting for me to hear 20% of black men are supporting Trump. So you understand you have 20% of black men who are with an all-out assault on other black men. That is all.
Respects our flag. To say, get that son of a bitch off the field right now. Out. He's fired. He's fired.
Now, NFL Commissioner.
I want us to remember what Colin Kaepernick was kneeling for. Colin Kaepernick was kneeling in order to bring awareness to police brutality prior to George Floyd's death. Trump spoke out against NFL players kneeling to bring awareness to police brutality prior to George Floyd's death. Do you hear what I'm saying? He recommended and promoted that those NFL players be fired from the NFL for speaking up against your unjust treatment under the hands of the police in America. If you can overlook this, then I do not see you as a black man. I do not see you as a man that I should respect. I see you as a coward. Know that you have chosen the other side. No, we are enemies. All I see, don't talk to me about your politics because I can't get past the fact that you are ignoring my humanity. We're not talking about your politics. I'm not talking about your tax cut. I'm talking about the fact that you can't get past the fact that me as a black man is a human being. We can't get to the politics. The claim was Colin Kaepernick decimated the flag by kneeling in front of the flag by requesting that our government was not upholding to that same flag. However, you consider that desecration of the flag, but Donald Trump places his face in all type of items over the flag, and you do not call that desecration. Trump can disgrace the flag however he so see fit, and Europeans have no issue with this. You have to accept that Trump mass appeal is based off white supremacy.